Hello everybody, welcome to my X-Files. Today we are going to take a quick look at the buses issue number 844 for July 2025. In the main news stories is Transport for London, with the organisers celebrating a quarter century of its franchise network, and West Midlands to franchise with rollout expected from late 2027. Yorkshire Weaver brands revealed. So with that said, let's have a look, shall we? And of course, Alexander, managing director, talked to Enviro, which this is all coming through before the closure of the Falkirk and suspension of Larbert facilities. So we have the West Midlands franchising confirmed. Of course, let's talk about that is of course about the death. They talk about Andrew Wickham and of course his sad passing. New mayor is making bus promise priorities. Services restored to Bradford interchange as well. And of course the Weaver Network is the name of West Yorkshire, but it replaces another franchise name which was Metro beforehand. Hull is leaving debts of almost £1.6 million. Bus services bill now reaches the House of Commons. Its second reading at that political building. Two new bus services for North Wales and Welsh independents feeding the franchising, but Powers Travel is offered reassurance. It's a small medium enterprise. Franchising the facts with Craig Temple. So big news with the international global news. Bus Stories is Man launching its the European first electric coach Man Line City E-Coach 14A. And of course German town tests Right Tech Electric. So, bus news stories in London. There's an urgent reaction on buses, says London Bus Alliance. Trial of Routemaster Sound on 2 routes for safety purposes. North London route swap and its entire table. The changes. Alexander Enviro 100 making the London debut. And some more route swapsies. That one was of course big, the £15.6 billion for English local transport projects. Well, of course a lot of that money has gone to the north, where it will bring out trams and articulated bendy buses. Of course, Whippet withdraws from Flixbus network, but Flixbus gains another Cambridge-based bus partner. And of course, Sunsundegui goes into administration and close to actually going. And then of course, this talks about the evolution of the Enviro, like the Alexander Savara 300 original star here, which is the one of the most longest and had one of the biggest seating capacities of all time. And of course we also have Alexander Savara 200s, the BYDE bus version as well, Enviro 400mm and Enviro 200mm's with the top one of being just the standard one. I think it was Smart Hybrid for a second. And of course my very favourite electric double deck bus, which is the Alexander Savara 400 EV. And that's of course talking about a vision for London. And of course it's showing a lot on London's old times, including articulated Mercedes-Benz E-Cidaros, and of course the BYD bus K8SR. It also shows some of the new stuff, like the first bus Right GB Kite Electroliner and the BYD bus BD11. And then of course this is of course a case study on buses in Seoul in South Korea, home of Blackpink and Squid Game, just to mention a couple. But of course it looks like Seoul is home to a lot of good looking buses as well as ours. So of course there's Wisdom Motors, that one's an unV-bodied man double deck bus, and some Hyundai fuel cell buses as well, like this one in which what I believe is Blackpink Jennie's home, or should I say birthplace, in the Gangnam district of Seoul, South Korea. Anyways, continuing on, of course, from that, because of course there are only a couple of good buses in those pictures. Of course, is the next one talking about what's next buses. So it's talking about life after Abellio. We're talking about 2 years after Abellio, which is questioning probably what's happening with life in Transport UK's hands. And of course that talks about the Weaver network looming at Bradford Interchange. Of course, that's one of the Magic Stagecoach Magic buses that went to Metro Line Manchester. Look at that. National Express Coventry ALX4 Alexander ALX400 Trident. So, here's of course the news stuff for the Fleet News. A Raven stagecoach buys used streetlight DFs and Alexander Savard 200s, new Alexander Savard 400 diesels at Go Ahead owned Brighton Hove. Flixbus London renumbers in National Fleet Number System. Rainbus increases order of Alexander Savard 400 EVs. Whippet to order Yutong E10 electrics for routes into Heathrow. So we've got of course all that span, Raven, Brighton Hove. One to speak about is of course Diamond Bus Southeast, because it's received 10.2 metre custom Den Element 2 buses, which of course they span from 10 metres all the way probably up to somewhere over 12 metres. And of course these first ones, of course there's 3 of them in active service, but there has been confirmation that there'll be up to 11 plus a demonstrator, which demonstrator will probably go to Diamond or visit all the Diamond bus places, but it would be good if they actually went to other big companies like Flixbus, Stagecoach, Go Ahead, Arriva, those. So yeah, Go South Coasters bought some Thames Safari HD12s, or Avenue HD12s. Flixbus services between Poole and London, Coin at Southampton. And if I zoom in on the Stagecoach one, it says here that Alexander Dennis 400 EVs have started to be arrive, but it'll be some time before active service because Cheltenham is being extremely slow at installing electric charging facilities at its depot. So now we're looking straight into Scotland, where McGill's Midland Bluebird has got 6 of 30 Yutong E12s in active service. There's not really that much going on in the Stagecoach Scotland areas. And then of course that's the stuff to go on for Ireland. So that about wraps it up for today. Of course, if you like this video, remember to like, subscribe and hit that notifications icon so you never miss any future uploads. And don't forget to have a look at that short on the BYD e-bus B13B. You don't want to miss that video. So with that said, thank you for watching my X-Files and see you again next time. Slugheads!